Greetings audience, I'm Boomstick, and today let's talk about the Radson BA by Radioactive Designs.
Before we continue, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to make sure you see more videos just like this one. You can also support the channel on Patreon and be one of these amazing patrons, with a special thank you to my pro patron, Nerf Nothing. And now, back to the video.
First, let me say that this blaster was sent to me by Radioactive Designs for the purpose of testing and giving feedback. However, the thoughts and opinions in this video on the Radson BA are my own. The Radson BA is a break-action hammer prime pistol that utilizes silly shells, which means it can fire any ammo type that fits into the silly shell's diameter with varying performance. Because of the break-open feature of the Radson BA, you're able to not only use full-length Mega and Mega XL, but you're also able to top-load those same darts from the front of the barrel without having to break open the blaster at all. I was honestly pretty impressed with the power of the Radson BA. With single shells, I was getting an average of around the mid-170s, which I think is pretty decent for what you consider a short barrel like that. I did find that, as you'll see with most of these shots, when you double stack the half darts, they don't perform very well. The full lengths, on the other hand, did do rather well, which surprised me. But every time I tried stacking the half darts, there was more of a drop than I would have preferred. I didn't even try doing 8 half darts. I do think for the shotgun blast, I'll probably end up sticking to either the double elite shell or 3 elite in the triple elite. While you do lose a decent amount of power, I was so surprised with how full lengths were doing that I think I'll probably start running them in the Radson BA, just for how well they were doing. Four Elite did very well though. Triple Rival barely left the barrel, so I wasn't expecting much, but both the double and single Rival rounds did rather well, which surprised me. I always like testing out the over-under, which is 2 elites and a Mega Dart. It doesn't usually do well, but it is fun. Mega, as expected, did do fairly well, averaging around the mid-60s. Mega XL was averaging between 50 and 60 FPS. Bottlenose shots with the one I have was getting just over 100 FPS. And if you really want a longer barrel to really get closer to that FPS cap, you could try the sniper shell with the aluminum barrel in it. Obviously, depending on the aluminum barrel you use will depend on what power you get. Side note, you're able to still fire Mega XL off of a worker scar. Radioactive Design prides themselves on their efficient use of air, meaning the power contained with the Radson BA is impressive considering the size. However, it does come with the drawback of a significantly beefy prime. I am able to prime it one-handed with my right hand, however it takes a good bit of effort. There are 2 parts that I find uncomfortable: the bottom of the trigger guard, which rubs against my middle finger, and the top of the trigger guard, which rubs against my trigger finger. Nothing major, but I did notice a bit of uncomfort there. The shell ejection allows for quick reloads as long as you break open the breech smoothly, as a slow open will cause a shell to not eject fully from the barrel. The Radson BA was sent to me pre-built, so I cannot speak on the assembly or printing. However, I can say the printing is pretty good and feels solid. I definitely trust Radioactive Designs to build something that will hold up under heavy play. Currently, you can only get a pre-built Radson BA from Radioactive Designs' Etsy, which I will have linked down below in the description. Now, because you can only get the Radson BA as a pre-built option from a single shop, I do have to give the Radson BA a C for availability. The Radson BA is priced at $120 plus shipping. This price is on par for other pistol-style springers from hobby shops. While not the cheapest shell-fed pistol, it's definitely not a bad price to pay for what you get. Radioactive Design puts a lot of work into making sure these blasters give quality performance with durability to match. All that being said, I will be giving the Radson BA a B on price. Now for aesthetics, the Radson BA has what I would describe as a simple hand cannon style. You have a smooth handle which is comfortable to hold, which pairs well with the knurling on the hammer prime. The only thing I personally don't care for is the awkward gap in the middle of the blaster. However, that is due to the break action nature of the Radson BA. Speaking of the gap, I will say that it did bite me once when I was trying to close it, so you do have to make sure that you're keeping your fingers clear of this area right in here. There is a lack of rails on the Radson BA, which I find a little disappointing. However, the smooth top allows you to holster it more easily. It's simple, but effective. And with that being said, I will be giving the Radson BA a B for aesthetics. Radioactive Designs does a great job of making sure blasters perform efficiently, and you shouldn't have to open up your Radson BA. However, if you do, you will have to undo a good number of screws to get inside. Luckily, the build seems pretty straightforward, so it shouldn't be too much trouble to do. However, it will land the Radson BA a C for accessibility. Overall, I think the Radson BA is in the running for one of the best shell-fed pistols. While it's a single shot, the use of shells and ejection makes for a pretty quick reload. Whether you need Mega, Mega XL, or just want a cloud of darts, the Radson BA will back you up. It definitely fits the zombie special or shield killer role, which could be very useful depending on your local games. But what do you think? Is it the perfect shell-fed pistol, or is something missing? Let me know down in the comments below, and keep an eye out for my field report coming soon. But until next time, I've been Boomstick, and I'll see you on the field.